So this video is going to be talking about Gravekeepers, Necrovalley.deck. I don't remember why I have these Gravekeeper related cards. Gravekeepers have been good in some capacity ever since they came out for Honor Guardian. Long motherfucking time ago. These are the original ones. Surprisingly, I actually have original cards. Oh shit, this first edition. Is this shit worth money? What is the recent wording on Necrovalley? Let's read that shit. All Gravekeeper monsters gain fire attack and defense. Okay. Cards in either player's graveyard cannot be banished. Against Nekroz, Valkyries don't happen. Exo-mirror banishing shit from the graveyard can't happen. And even the mirrors in the graveyard to search your mirror, that can't happen either. Wow, that shit's on Nekroz. Negate any card effect that will move a card in the graveyard other than itself to a different place. So Nekroz cycle don't happen? Wow, this really does shit on Nekroz. I mean, the only thing that it doesn't stop is the hand-related effects. Isn't it a good thing, maybe in some people's opinion a bad thing, that Royal Tribute's at 1? Royal Tribute combined with Mind Crush. Now that's a scary sight, even if the Floodgate-esque type of effects that Necrovalley possesses weren't a factor. It does boost Gravekeepers by 5 for the attack and defense. What actually does matter when you have a motherfucker like this. I don't know if this is a female or a male, but I'm just going to assume it is a female, so this does not sound homo. That's a big ass though. 2500 defense. And also, a fairly recent card that came out, I believe, in Legacy of the Valiant is Gravekeeper Shaman. This card gains 200 defense for each Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard. Negate all monster effects that activate in the graveyard, except Gravekeeper monsters, including that Herald of the Arclight when they send it for Kaleidoscope. While Necrovalley is on the field, your opponent cannot activate field spell cards. That mattered a whole lot more before the rule change relating to field cards. Also, field spell cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So if you thought you was going to space, this shit ain't going to happen as long as you got this bitch out. I would assume that enough people are looking for alternative solutions. Because not everybody, surprisingly, despite how popular Nekroz is, not everybody wants to play that shit. Maybe because the shit's too expensive. I understand. I'm a cheap ass my goddamn self. So, I feel like Necrovalley, Gravekeepers is a fine deck to try out. It plays the same way that it's played for years. Spy, Flipping Recruiter, or Descendant, depending on which one you have in your hand, is still good. Popping things is good. Attacking for pretty decent damage. Having shit like Commandant to be a 2100 beater under motherfucking Necrovalley on top of activating in the hand to search this shit is so good. Having this card to get back your Gravekeeper monsters, and it's not affected by Necrovalley because what type of sense would that make if it was? There's also some other shit, but I don't have it, like Gravekeeper's Heretic. It's unaffected by shit as long as Necrovalley's out or something. So basically, it's just a Gravekeeper that just stays out. So if you was going to play something like the Imperial Tombs, even though you can only play one of those a turn, I think that that's not really good, but you could do it if you want to. And then Gravekeepers have that type of vanity's emptiness type thing, but you have to have a Gravekeeper Necrovalley out. Not necessarily sure that's a good thing, but since vanity's emptiness is at 1, I would show that shit, but I'd have to reach for it. I don't see it being too out of the realm of possibility. This actually stops Trishula, because you can't banish cards in the grave, and I'm pretty sure you gotta banish cards from each zone if you can, and if you can, it doesn't happen. Interesting. If you end up running into a Nekroz player, which is more likely going to happen, and you're playing Gravekeepers, and you just happen to get the first turn Necrovalley and a Spy or a Nobleman. Nobleman summons the Shaman without having a tribute. Thank God. Your opponent should know they're in for a ride. And probably the biggest reason you should play Gravekeepers, yet again, I'm not telling you to do anything, is Masked Hero or Dark Law. They're all dark. Play Mass Change second, ideally on a recruiter, so you basically kinda sorta break even. Let's just run through the entire deck so far. So you got Necrovalley, because you play that in every Gravekeeper deck. That's like the bare bones of the shit. And then you got Gravekeeper Shaman, which further says fuck Nekroz. And then you're more likely playing that one Vanity's Emptiness that further says fuck Nekroz. And then you may be playing, is it called Shrine or Temples in the TCG? Doesn't matter. I'm not saying that you should play it, but it is an option. So that further says fuck Nekroz. And then on top of all that fuck Nekroz, this is like the ultimate fuck you. And you play Mass Chain second for Darkwall. So on top of all that shit, they got to deal with. And Necros don't have a whole lot of wiggle room to be taking shit out and putting shit in that would help against this. I think it's pretty safe to say that they will get wrecked and erect. Shun. So on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you would like to support me in some form or fashion, all I ask is you spend literally seconds out your day and click an advertisement. The money goes towards rent, then I'd be grateful, appreciative, and I'm going to say thank you very much in advance if you spend some time to do that. I'm not going to ask why people aren't playing Gravekeepers because more than likely I know the answer, but if you want to say fuck Nekroz, this is like the ultimate fuck you. Like you can play the Mind Crush, the One World Tribute, and then the Emptiness. And then on top of that, on top of all the main deckable shit you can play, you can just play Imperial Iron Wall out of the side deck. Now, I'm no expert or nothing, but that sounds like a plan to me. And the shit is cheap. Sounds like a plan to me. Yeah.